We'll never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights. That is a prudent deal.
Breaking news, Charlie Kirk was shot today in the neck at Utah University. Yes, that is the same Charlie Kirk that is a #1 Trump supporter in 2025. Yes, that is the same Charlie Kirk that debated that women should not have rights over their own body. The same Charlie Kirk that when all the damning evidence against Trump and the Epstein files was coming forward said that he is going to trust his friends in the government. Let's all read this news article together, shall we? Old Charlie said, gun deaths unfortunately worth it to keep Second Amendment. If you like a direct quote, here it is. Charlie Kirk said, it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment. So by Charlie's logic, this shooting was worth it. This is the alleged shooter. They say all heroes don't wear capes, and I don't see a cape anywhere in sight. And for the racists that are bound to reach my comments, there's a huge difference between Charlie Kirk being shot and a Trayvon Martin, Ahmaud Arbery, a George Floyd being killed, a Breonna Taylor, and the list goes on and on. Charlie Kirk was not shot for being white. Charlie Kirk was shot for being supportive and spreading hatred against women, people of color, and gun violent deaths. Which again, he said, unfortunately worth it. For the record, I think Charlie Kirk is scum. I think Nick Fuentes is scum. I think Donald Trump is scum. I think JD Vance is scum. I think Myron from Fresh and Fit is scum. And I don't wish death or shootings upon nobody. The universe, or God, does work in mysterious ways. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Bro, what are you doing? As a black man crying over Charlie Kirk, a known racist, and if it was you that would have died from gun violence, he would have said it was worth it. And save the, oh, he has kids. You would have taught those kids how to be racist and terrible people. Every other day on TikTok, I see people talk about you know who. We waiting for the day that you know who gets you know whatted. You know who got kids. You know who probably got grandkids. That don't make you know who any less of an awful person whose actions would lead them to such a demise. I don't wish death on nobody. More often than not, awful things happen to good people. Today, an awful thing happened to an awful person. But if I see another black person crying over a racist, I'm gonna lose it, among other things. But what do I know? Let's see how far they spin this narrative. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.
I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
When blacks in America did not have the same rights they had today, they were less murderous, there was less break-ins. Why is that? And the data shows they were actually better in the 1940s. It was bad, it was evil, but what happened?
A certain skin color now gets their own summertime celebration. Oh, wow, look how far blacks have come. It has now become a racial complaining day. Remember what BLM stands for: burn, loot, and murder.
Yeah, DEI stands for
one of the biggest.
Didn't earn it, just so we're clear.
Can we also acknowledge, due to the laws under Jim Crow, that black people were significantly hindered from economic advancement?
This is a really important question. The data shows not really. Black Americans are poorer today in 2024 than they were in the 1950s. The disappearance of the black father has been the #1 driver of black poverty in this country. We at least agree that black dads not being around is a bad thing.
Anyone's father not being around is a bad thing. Starting in the 1980s and continuing onward, there's been a war on drugs. Is this correct?
I like the war on drugs. Blacks commit more crimes than whites do. They commit more murders, they commit more arsons, they commit more kidnappings. That's not a war on drugs, that's a culture problem. Why are so many blacks committing murders outside of their population? So we've spent $20 trillion on uplifting black communities, $20 trillion, and black Americans are poor. Food stamps, subsidized housing, Medicaid, public schooling, subsidized college. We're talking about $20 trillion that has been spent on the Great Society, and yet black America is poorer, more murderous, more dangerous.
Part of
what does equity mean?
is
you mean taking
allowed
from other people?